The Great Sahara Desert. Most of you are probably picturing a sea of sand dunes with wave after wave of sand that has been blown around by the wind and burned by the sun. But what's there that we are not being told? What secrets does it behold? Join us as we dig further into this topic on the unknown facts. The Sahara Desert in North Africa is the world's largest hot desert. It has a surface area of 9.2 million square kilometers, which includes the Libyan Desert, and is equal to about a quarter of Africa. But if we look at the mysteries of the Sahara Desert, are you aware of any? We have some on our list. The first one is a fossil of dinosaurs. A group of Egyptian and American scientists has found and named a huge meat-eating dinosaur in Egypt's Sahara Desert. The dinosaur was a theropod, a group of dinosaurs with hollow bones and 3 toes on each foot. It was found at a famous fossil site. No name has been given to the species yet. The fossil is the first proof that abelosaurid theropods lived in the Baharian Formation, a rock layer from the Middle Cretaceous. Abelosaurids were ceratosaurian theropod dinosaurs that lived during the Cretaceous period on the ancient southern supercontinent of Gondwana. They ate meat and walked on 2 legs, so they were carnivores. Ceratosaurs were a group of theropods that were more closely related to Ceratosaurus, a carnivorous theropod from the late Jurassic period, than to birds. The most famous abelosaurid was Carnotaurus, a Patagonian form with horns and a demonic look that was seen in Jurassic World and Prehistoric Planet. Patagonia is the southern part of South America. It is in Argentina and Chile, and it stretches from the Andes to the Atlantic Ocean. The theropod dinosaur Carnotaurus lived in South America between 71 and 69 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. Before 145 million years ago, the Cretaceous period started, and it ended 66 million years ago. The end of the age of dinosaurs also happened during the Cretaceous period. Abelosaurid fossils can be found on the modern continents of Africa and South America, as well as on the subcontinent of India and the island of Madagascar. The fossil of a dinosaur that ate meat was found in the Bahariya Formation, which is about 98 million years old and can be seen in the Bahariya Oasis in Egypt's western desert. The study about the dinosaur found in the Bahariya Formation was just published in the Royal Society Open Science Journal. In the early 20th century, the Bahariya Formation gave us the first fossils of many interesting dinosaurs. Spinosaurus, a huge fish-eater with a sail on its back, was one of these dinosaurs. During the Second World War, the items were destroyed. Abelosaurid dinosaur fossils had been found in Europe and on many of the continents that are now in the southern hemisphere, but never before in the Bahariya Formation. The fossil is a vertebra from the base of the dinosaur's neck that has been well preserved. The study, which was led by scientists from Ohio University, said that the fossil was a well-preserved vertebra from the base of the dinosaur's neck. It was found in 2016 during an expedition by the Mansoura University Vertebrate Paleontology Center to the Bahariya Oasis. The study says that the vertebra came from an abelosaurid, which is a type of theropod dinosaur with a bulldog-like face, small teeth, and small arms. Its body length is thought to have been about 6 meters or 20 feet. During the Cretaceous period, abelosaurids were some of the most different and widespread large predatory dinosaurs in the southern land masses. The study says that the new abelosaurid fossil, along with Spinosaurus and 2 other giant theropods, Carcharodontosaurus and Bahariasaurus, adds another species to the group of large predatory dinosaurs that lived in the area that is now the Egyptian Sahara 98 million years ago. In a statement released by Ohio University, Bilal Salem, the paper's lead author, said that the Bahariya Oasis would have been one of the scariest places on Earth in the Middle Cretaceous. He also says that no one knows how all of these big predators were able to live together, but it's likely because they ate different things and changed to hunt different animals. In the study, the author said that the new vertebra could affect the diversity of Cretaceous dinosaurs in Egypt and the whole northern part of Africa. The fossil from the Bahariya Formation is the oldest known fossil of the Abelosauridae from northeastern Africa. It shows that these meat-eating dinosaurs lived in most of the northern part of the continent during the mid-Cretaceous, from Egypt to Morocco, in the east of Niger to the south, and possibly further south. Carcharodontosaurus was also found in Niger and Morocco, and a close relative of Bahariasaurus was also found there. This suggests that these large to huge theropods lived together in most of northern Africa at this time. But how can researchers tell from the discovery of a single-neck vertebra that the fossil is from an Abelisauridae dinosaur, a type of meat-eating dinosaur that has never been found in the Bahariya Formation before? Researchers say that the answer is surprisingly easy to find. The fossil is almost the same tooth in better-known abelisaurids like Carnotaurus from Argentina and Majungasaurus from Madagascar. Paleontologists know about Bahariya Oasis because it is where the type specimens of Spinosaurus and other amazing dinosaurs were found in the early 20th century. Type specimens are the first fossils that were found and gave the group its name. But in 1944, when the Allies bombed Munich, all of the Bahariya dinosaur fossils that had been found before World War II were destroyed. Matt Lamana, who was also a co-author of the paper, said that the Bahariya Oasis is almost a legend among paleontologists because it is where the first fossils of some of the most amazing dinosaurs in the world were found. He had helped find dinosaur bones in the Bahariya Oasis for the first time since the famous air raid in 1944. Did you know that the Sahara Desert has a lake beneath in sand? Second on our list, it is an ancient megalake. This vast region was likely grassland in ancient times, dating back some 1,000 years ago. Around 100,000 years ago, researchers discovered 3 ancient river systems that are now buried, but they believe those river systems may have been responsible for creating feasible routes for human migration through the Sahara and into the Mediterranean region. These 3 enormous rivers eventually made it to the Mediterranean after battling their way over 1,000 kilometers of desert in the Sahara. In addition to this, there is abundant evidence to suggest that the valley of the White Nile River was originally home to a very big lake filled with fresh water. A prehistoric megalake was found buried beneath the Sahara Desert in 2010. According to Smithsonian Science, the lake was created approximately 250,000 years ago, when the Nile River pushed through a low channel at Wadi Tushka, which resulted in the flooding of the eastern Sahara and the creation of a lake that at its highest level covered more than 42,000 square miles. The relative sizes of a megalake in the Sahara Desert that is 810 feet above sea level and covers 42,000 square miles, and a smaller lake in the same region that is 623 feet above sea level and covers 18,600 square miles, are seen in these 2 photos. The Nile may be seen in the lower right corner of both pictures. The White Nile River Valley in Sudan is where the megalake most likely originated more than 100,000 years ago, according to the findings of a study that was directed by scientists from the University of Exeter. The amount of the isotope beryllium-10 that was found in coastal sediments was measured by Dr. Tim Barrows of the University of Exeter and colleagues using a dating method that was based on the amount of exposure to cosmic rays. It is possible to determine how long rocks or sediments have been exposed at the surface of the planet by calculating how abundant it is. The researchers were able to pinpoint the age of the sediments found along the coastline to around 109,000 years ago by using this technique. According to Dr. Barrows, who specializes in geography, the Eastern Sahara Desert is one of the most climatically sensitive locations on Earth. This region is capable of rapidly shifting from a lake-studded savanna forest to a hyper-arid desert in a period of only thousands of years. There is abundant evidence that the White Nile River Valley in what is now a semi-arid part of Sudan was once home to a very huge lake filled with fresh water. The results of our research provide the first quantitative estimate for the size of the lake, as well as a direct age for when the lake originally formed. It is possible that the lake was created when the White Nile River, which is one of the 2 main tributaries of the Nile that runs through Egypt, was dammed up during seasonal floods during a monsoon that was more violent than the one that the area currently sees. It would have been comparable in size to some of the greatest freshwater lakes on Earth today, such as Lake Michigan in the US, Lake Baikal in Siberia, and Lake Tanganyika in East Africa, based on the lake's surface area. Next is the discovery of the humongous ancient crocodile. On the edge of the Sahara Desert in Tunisia, scientists have found the fossils of the largest sea-dwelling crocodile ever. The animal would have grown to be 30 feet long and 3 tons heavy. His head is 5 feet long, which is longer than many people. But the most important thing about this discovery is not how big the reptile was, but what it says about the supposed mass extinction at the end of the Jurassic period. This crocodile, which has now been given the name Machimosaurus rex, was found in rocks from 120 million years ago. Paleontologists have talked for a long time about a mass extinction that happened 145 million years ago. This event was thought to have killed off Machimosaurus's own group, the Teleosaurids. Stephen Broussat, a paleontologist at the University of Edinburgh who was not involved in the new study, told National Geographic that the new find adds to growing evidence that a lot of marine reptiles made it across the boundary and through the supposed extinction. Machimosaurus rex's bones were found under a thin layer of sediment in an area that was likely once a lagoon facing the ocean. Federico Fanti of the University of Bologna, who is in charge of the team, told the Washington Post that the creature was massive. "It's a big thing. It's almost as big as a bus." Dr. Fanti says that the creature has a massive skull that can bite with an amazing amount of force. Fanti thinks it was a general hunter because it had stocky, relatively short and rounded teeth. It probably caught a wide range of animals. According to Dr. Broussat, it would have probably been a kind of ambush predator. It would have hung out in shallow water to hunt turtles and fish and maybe waited for land animals to get a little too close to the shore. Broussat says that even though Tunisia has a lot of fossils, it is still not very well known. In fact, at the site of Machimosaurus, fish and turtle bones that have yet to be identified have also been found. And while Machimosaurus rex definitely deserves its royal name, its freshwater cousin Sarcosuchus imperator was bigger. It was 40 feet long and weighed about 8 tons. About 110 million years ago, when rivers ran through sub-Saharan Africa, Sarcosuchus was alive. It probably stalked the riverbanks, looking for food just like its modern relatives do today. The freshwater behemoth got its scientific name in the 1960s, but it wasn't until 2000 that National Geographic explorer-in-residence Paul Sereno found bones so big that he and his team came up with the name Super Croc. Sereno found his Machimosaurus in Niger, in a place called Garufaua, which is on the other side of the Sahara from where Fanti found his. There, they found many Sarcosuchus bones, like armor plates, jaws, limbs, and a skull that was 6 feet long. But none of one was a big surprise, except the Machimosaurus rex. Lastly is the myth that the Sahara Desert is made up of sand. The sand dunes of the Sahara stand out in both sight and sound. When the wind blows over large curved dunes made mostly of silica-containing sand grains between 0.1 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter in diameter and a certain amount of moisture, they can make a loud resonating noise. This rumbling hum, which is most likely caused by friction between sand grains or air compression, can reach 105 decibels, which is approximately the same volume as a nearby helicopter. The idea that the Sahara Desert is mostly made up of sand is not true, but in a few thousand years, our ideas about the Sahara might change completely, provided we are still around, because every 20,000 years or so, the Sahara may go from being dry and harsh to being wet and green. A team of researchers looked at dust deposits that went back 240,000 years. In 2019, they said that the sediment seemed to change from dry to wet in time with small changes in the tilt of the Earth's axis. In fact, it looks like the Sahara is a place where the Earth's crust is changing. So that was all about the video. Hope you find it informative. Then do subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and press the bell icon for more updates like this.